let's take a walk back here and let's take a walk and see if we can find some lychee tomatoes. Man, you have no idea how good it smells in here right now with all these flowers. It's just it's very floral in here. Anyway, here's the lychee tomato. Try to give you a view of it from behind. You can see it comes all the way up like this. Alright. Comes up like that. Here's the flowers. Okay. Some of the leaves are getting this stuff on it. I don't know. Can anybody tell me what this particular kind of disease is? It just comes out of nowhere. I have no idea what this is. It only forms on like tomatillos and those kind of plants. Like the sunberries get it, the tomatillos get it. This apparently gets it. It's the first time I'm growing this, but this is getting it. I don't know what this is. And if you rub it, it's like it's smushy. So I don't really know what this is. So if anybody knows, I don't know. Can you? Am I getting a good image here? Let me see if I can get a good image. If you can identify what kind of infection this is on these kind of plants, I would really appreciate it, because I really have no idea what this is. Like I said, it's only a few plants that get this stuff. It doesn't form on tomatoes or peppers or anything else. It's only this species of plant. So anyway, you can see I have 3 plants growing. This lychee tomato, this one branched off down here. Okay, the fur is slightly got a slight amount of fur on it, and just trying to clean that out. You could see all the spines, all the thorns on the stem. It's not as bad as the Naranjilla, but nevertheless, it's very spiny like a cactus. Alright, I'll try to get you a close-up view of it. I mean, look, it's on the stem. Okay, it's on the stem. You can see this. You can see it's very prickly. But it's not as bad as the Naranjilla. The Naranjilla, you can't even handle. You can barely handle the leaves. But this is a stem to a flower. It shoots off these things. It's very close to a tomato. In fact, if you look at the unopened flowers, you can see they almost look like potato flowers. And potatoes and tomatoes are basically from the same family. They're all from the nightshade family, but potatoes and tomatoes are very closely related. That's why they grow very, very well together. If you're going to do companion planting, tomatoes and potatoes and corn are real good. It's not quite the Three Sisters in my opinion, but it's another way to get a very productive crop that's going to give you a lot of starchy food. And you know, starchy type of crop like potatoes and corn, that's starchy. And then the tomatoes is like the fruit. They grow together really, really well. They're very compatible together. There's no trying to think of a word here. There's no oh, my mind's drawing a blank. There's a name for it. When plants produce chemicals that actually cause other plants to wither away or not grow so well. I'll remember it when I go to the seed section of this video. I'll tell you what it is. And then I'll get it, if you want, maybe I'll do a video on the science of what that topic is, how plants kill each other out. It's very important for you to weed your garden, and most people tell you weed your garden because they're taking up the nutrients from the plant. Not necessarily, maybe very slightly on a small scale, but the real reason it hinders growth in your crops is because of this reason. I gotta find a word for it. I can't remember the word. I just woke up, guys, so you know I'm kind of like spaced out here a little bit. I like to get my video work done early in the morning so I can, you know, get all the other work around the property done. Maybe I'll take you guys for a tour around the property and show you what's going on here. But you know, I can't. I got to do these videos now, get them all made up, and then I load them up during the day, and then you know, I can get work done around here. So anyway, back to the lychee tomato. Yeah, you can see it's very sensitive to whatever this disease is. It gets it, and then it goes away, and then it gets it, it goes away. I don't know what it is. It doesn't necessarily kill a plant. It's some kind of a blight or mold or fungus, but well, there's no fruit on this yet, so I can't show you the fruit. We'll link you to the update once the fruit comes in. I'll connect the videos and everything. But as you can see, as you get down lower, you can see there's the main stem. Just comes up just like a tomato. You see it's branching off. You're getting little suckers come out just like tomatoes. They come out. This grows. I see why they call it a lychee tomato, because it's not a tomato, from what I understand. It's not a tomato and it's not a lychee, but the plant, it grows very, very similar to a tomato. It grows. They actually very almost the same way. The same growing behavior as a tomato, and maybe the fruit is like a lychee. So I'm not sure. We'll have to see how this turns out. I got 3 plants. This is the one. Where's the other ones? You can see there's one back here. I got one shooting out off to the side. They're kind of separated. And then there's a little one down there. He's just starting to come up, pointing out towards my fennels in the back. But this is what the leaves look like to it, the young leaves anyway. The big leaves look like this. You can see they're pretty big. They're very thorny, so I can't really handle this too much. Okay, so that's the leaves. That's the suckers. I'm going to let the suckers grow out. This is my first year growing this, so I don't know what lychee tomatoes, how they grow, their behavior. They seem like they grow like tomatoes, so maybe we'll leave them. But this plant is roughly about, right now, this is a young plant. I would say this plant is, pushing 4 feet now. This particular one. The one in the back looks like it's pushing 4 feet as well. So I really don't know how tall these things get. Like I say, it's my first year, so we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. But here, I'll give you a closer look at the tops. All right, here's the flowers. I come by every now and again, and I just tickle a flower like that. All right, I just tickle them. Make sure they germinate. Now, that doesn't necessarily cause them to germinate, I noticed. So I've been doing that from the beginning, and it's dropped. You know, had already several of these branches come out, and so far no lychees. So it could be the heat. Heat gets up to 100, between 100 and 120 here during the day, no matter what. Even if the doors are open, even you know, if it's 85, 90 outside, it's about 100, 120 in here. So, and the blight, and we get what's called up here gray mold and white mold up here in northeastern Pennsylvania, and it's once it establishes itself, it's very difficult to get rid of. And I didn't go take the time out to bleach the whole inside of this greenhouse. So just the white mold or gray mold, whichever one it is seasoned, is just starting to come out. It's not quite a blight. I'll show you what white mold looks like if I can. It's everywhere really. At this point, it's just starting to spread. And see if I can show you on the tomato. Like you can see, that's a very young leaf. There's some spots on it. There's more, believe me. See how you get a little yellow spot? And then on the bottom, there's some that are established already. That you could see the fuzz on it. Here's one with a little bit of fuzz. You see that, like that fuzz? Yeah, it's a white mold, and it's difficult to get rid of. You can't just use baking soda and stuff. I got to get a chemical in here and spray it. If I don't do that, if I don't treat them, this entire ecosystem in here will completely collapse in about, I'd probably say about 3 weeks to a month. Everything will pretty much be dead. So I have to jump on this right away and try to, not everything, I mean, it doesn't seem like the mold gets on everything, but it'll definitely kill the cucumbers, the tomatoes. It doesn't affect the peppers, but, you know, this whole greenhouse would be basically devastated. And it came in this year, it came up early. how it got here, it's established inside the greenhouse already. I got it in here one year, and like I told you, once it establishes itself, it's really, really difficult to get rid of. Crop rotation is really the only thing you can do to remediate this type of infection, and hopefully it doesn't regrow. Plus, you got to sterilize the place, and I just haven't had time this year to do it. As you can see, I'm doing a lot. So anyway, I'm digressing again. Back to the lychee. That's your leech. All right. And there's not much more left about it. I mean, I can show you the flower clusters over here. You know, you can see the flower clusters. And what else we got here? Anything going down there below? See, it's so dense in here right now. From the volunteer tomatoes that came up. I really don't want to have to pull these out. They're really healthy tomatoes, but I mean, if they're going to be something like the Everglade tomato, I'll do a video on the Everglade tomato. Boy, I'll tell you, that's something you got to be really careful growing, because that can be extremely evasive. I never thought that it would get like that up here, but yeah, it's a wild Everglade tomato is a wild tomato, but it's prolific once it gets out of control, and that's good and bad. But it can just literally devastate your crops and outside wildlife. It just gets out of hand, so you really got to keep a close thing on it. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about the lychee. You see the thorny stems. I'll just show you that one more time. Oh, see, I'm getting poked right now. Okay, you can kind of see the thorny stems. You can see the way they just come out. It's very prickly plant. It's not as bad as some people said. I've read in forums. It's a nightmare, and I can't get the fruit off. It hurts. And believe me, you grow the Naranjilla, this thing's a pleasure to grow. This doesn't even hold a candle to that thing. But it's got thorns on it. So, all right, and you can see even the flower pods on this thing. You know. You could even see the flower